the two songs, Cymbal Rush, is all based around like I mean, it's all done on laptops and it's all computerized, and but there was enough of an essence of the song to get it across today. But it was a bit. It just took me a while to work out how I was going to do it, and the real struggle was the clock, because I mean that's like, you know, it turned into a skiffle tune, which is kind of cool. I was into that. But I mean, on the record, it's all cut up, sliced up little bits of guitar and things. So it's kind of a bit of a head masher to try and work out how to do it, but got there in the end. I kind of like that though, because you sort of push yourself into playing the guitar in a different way. I mean, I would never ever play skiffle. Why would I play skiffle? But it sort of actually works, I think. I'm one of these people who swears a lot naturally, so although I haven't actually sworn yet. That's interesting. I normally would have done by this point. I just don't. I've never really seen it as an issue. I mean, it's part of you know, the word "fuck" is just part of the English language and has been for hundreds of years. Or I think there are far more offensive abuses of language used in the news media. Just, you know, general sort of mind-numbing gobbledygook they make up. I think that should be censored. I think good old traditional swear words are really not the problem. Myself, I mean, but that's always I swear a lot. So what do I know? Black Song was a single, and they drop out the fuck. Then they, you know, I think it's funny. It sounds just. I mean, we did have quite a laugh for a couple of hours. Me and Nigel sort of putting trumpets in there and stuff. But you know, it's like, well, that's the song. You know, the song. This is fucked up. That's the line. I mean, you can't change it. It's like, you know, it's a sort of off-the-cuff remark you make one night when you've had, you know, too much to drink and you're talking to your friends about what's going on. And it's like, oh, this is just fucked up. You know, it's what everybody says. Well, hang on, why suddenly, when you are playing it in the radio, can't you say it? It doesn't make sense to me. You know, the taxi driver will say it to you, you know. So why can't I say it? Yeah, I'm not doing MTV at all. I'm quite proud of that, actually. Not that they play me for shit, so it doesn't matter really. So, but I don't think I really fit the mould anymore. Because I mean, we figured there's no point because they're not going to play it anyway. I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. I guess you could say there was an environmental element to the record. There was, with most of the way I write, there tends to be a wider thing going on that I can't deny, that I'm absorbing all the time. Obviously, like a lot of people, although it's a little bit slow over here, but it's getting started. The global warming thing is obviously something we all need to. I mean, it's too large to comprehend. That feeling is all through the record. That on one level, there's something going on which is just so enormous and so beyond each individual human being to get their heads around. And I was trying in my puny way to deal with that, really, because I couldn't help it. I mean, I got involved with Friends of the Earth as well, who are doing this campaign called The Big Ask, which sounds like something else. But I think for me, the thing about it is that it feels like with the global warming issue that it's completely impossible for us to ever deal with it. But I mean, according to scientists, that's not strictly the case. That there is a way out of this. And I think it's rather too tempting for everybody concerned to just throw up their hands and say, well, but if you have children, you can't do that anyway. You can't look at your children in the face and know that they have no future. You just can't do it. Not if you're a human being. Well, over here I've encountered it's 200 or 300 years away, and by then we'll have found a new power source here, right? Well, we don't know it for certain. It could be sunspots. You know, the science hasn't proven the planet temperature goes up and down, which is just frankly ignorant of the facts. So, but you know, there's an awful lot of stake So, I mean, the interesting thing was when I first got involved with the Big Ask campaign, there was an orchestrated disinformation thing going on, funded by various US lobby groups involved with the oil companies, where they were trawling out the one or two scientists they could find that still doubted some of the science involved, and paying them an awful lot of money to go and pretend that they were equally qualified to discuss the subject, when there was tens of thousands of other scientists who signed up the other way. I mean, that's what you're up against. But they see that didn't work. I mean, it certainly isn't working in Europe. I mean, it's still a little bit hanging around in America, but it won't take long. And then the next thing we do is have to work out what we're going to do about it. Doing what I do is pretty carbon consuming, so it's very difficult to see beyond the fact that the truck's engines, the truck drivers insist on leaving their engines running because that's where they live, which just drives me absolutely crazy. That you have to have these stupid generators. Well, why can't, I mean, there must be another way of doing it. You know, it's just endless, all the waste and stuff. But you know, it was really inspiring getting involved with Friends of the Earth, because I went to them and they were presenting the reality of it, which was difficult to get your head around. But what was really inspiring was their commitment to try and do something about it. And it's not sort of like waving flags or holding big concerts or any of that rubbish. It's just like behind the scenes, writing letters, hassling MPs, and trying to change your little tiny cosmos a little bit. But actually the truth of the matter is that unless there's huge legislation, unless there's a seismic shift in the way we see that we consume energy, the way we understand what energy is and our rights to it, or not, unless we deal with that, every single person deal with that, and unless the laws put in place that everybody can agree with, we're not going to get anywhere. But it needs to be national and international laws. And what you're up against is an entire system based on the idea of increased expansion, increased consumption, endless building, to give the illusion of a prosperous, wonderful society. But that society is on a knife edge, because its main energy source is running out. Even before you get to the global warming issue, I mean, it's running out. I mean, our tactics to destabilise the Middle East and so on, in order to gain the supply routes for the oil, they're not going to last long. You know, at some point or other, we're going to be presented with the fact that our main source of energy is out of date, and we need to either address how we use energy or change our energy source. One way or the other, we have to get out of our addiction to oil, like everybody says. Well, it's been quite interesting. I mean, suddenly just doing a one-on-one with Nigel, and sort of like a collaboration like that, is that because it was pretty quick and pretty simple to do because of the computers and so on, it made it really, it sort of really got my confidence back, and Nigel's very good at making you trust on your first instincts and things, which left to one's own devices, most musicians tend to forget that and endlessly fool around, change things. So it was really nice to sort of just make a record very quickly and just go, this is what we've got, that's it, and it's quite a shock really. You learn a lot more that way than you do spending a year in the studio going around the bend, that's for sure. But yeah, with this record, The Eraser, it was me and him, just me and him, and it was just an excuse to hang out really. We didn't even think we had any songs to begin with. But there we go. And at the moment, we are trying to puzzle out how to, Radiohead that is, trying to work out how to record the songs we've been playing live. And that's what he's around for. So he's been listening to it all and things like that.